Second one today, on a little bit less of a somber note, there was something. Let's move this round here, shall we? So there we go. How are you doing that? Are you sitting comfortably? Are you sitting? Are you all right there? Yeah, good. So, I did also yesterday find something that I wasn't aware of, and I didn't know this was a thing. But now I kind of want to A, try them, and B, if they are good, get some. Down the line, I think the second edition of them may be better. So these take rid of Ray-Ban, yeah, the glasses frame maker, sunglasses designer brand, yeah. Well, they did or are doing a collaboration with Meta, people that run Facebook, if you don't know. And they're smart glasses, actual glasses. You get them. You can either have them as sunglasses or you can have prescription lenses. Now, I really want some. I know somebody with them, and their use of them is really, really good. They've had mixed reviews from the smart features. So you can record them video from point of view. You can use them to record things. You can you can get heads-up display on the inside of the glasses for messages and stuff. All of this stuff. However, what I really want them for is this. So being able to see, normally I'm wearing my glasses more and more and more, but getting the camera in front of me and being able to record what I'm doing for my other channel, the hobby stuff, that'd be really, really good. They record at like HD. That's my little one playing, getting a bit mental, a bit leery, and all of the other smart features. So they're not, the uber quality, but for the most part, for what I would use them from, I think it's a really cool thing. And also, as I'm doing kind of more walking around vlogging, just for like B-roll stuff, or if I'm looking at something, getting those point of view shots, that's really unique, and nobody else is kind of doing that in this hobby space. So it would be somewhat of a USP. The chap I've been talking to that's using them, he's a toy collector, and he uses them for when he's going out and doing his toy hunts and stuff. And that's kind of what made me aware of them. But I just thought it was for recording video. I wasn't aware about all of the other additional features that they had that may fit into my actual work-life workflow as well, which is particularly useful and beneficial. And one of the things that I was specifically thinking about was having inline displays of information as I'm working on a project. So a lot of the things that I do is editing and also project management and things. So being able to see stuff in pretty much real time would be super useful, and looking at what you can do with those glasses as well is really interesting, because they've got a API that you can build your own solutions for. Now, in my former life as a developer, that was something that I was really keen and interested in doing, and I hadn't had an itch to scratch for quite a while, where I was working on something, or I'd get to work on something that I really wanted to build an application solution for and integrate with the hardware. And this is perhaps something that would scratch that itch. So we'll see. They're about 8 or 9 months old already, of these glasses. So I'm thinking over the next sort of like 3 to 6 months, we'll perhaps see a second revision of that hardware. And at that point, I may look seriously at jumping on to that bandwagon and seeing if I can warrant getting myself a pair. So the frames, I think, run for about 300 quid. And then it's about another 100 quid, 150 quid for your prescriptions, and then the anti-reflective coating. So it does increase in cost. They'll be the most expensive glasses I've ever bought. But I think those features are really, really worthwhile for me. But yeah, I wanted to come back and talk about that one before I forgot about it, because it was something that I wanted to touch on. I'm genuinely interested in that as well. I'm going to download the SDK and have a look at what's actually possible as well, because it's maybe that I can't actually build the integrations that I want to build. But what would be really cool, what would be really cool, is if I could have perhaps my scripts showing on the inside of my lenses as I'm recording myself talking to camera, but also as I'm recording stuff, have overlays of what I'm actually going to be using that footage for. So perhaps I could have a real-time look showing inside of there. Perhaps I could have different framing solutions showing how things would crop differently. Now I know you can do that quite simply on some of the cameras. Unfortunately, I don't believe my G9 Mark II can do it. I think the GH6 and the GH6 I've got access to via work, and the GH5. But I think the GH7 allows you to put framing options over the top, and they do have an SDK. So there's some really interesting use cases in there. And I think it's one of the more interesting things that I could work with that's not AI. I had a recent text conversation with my friend, very good friend of mine, who I was a little bit, not confrontational, but standoffish in the conversation about AI. He was telling me about Google's advancements in Gemini. They're now commercialized and main release AI model. Now, I'm not interested at all in AI utilization. I'm not interested in introducing it into my workflow. I'm not interested in using it in anger in any of my commercial projects. I'm not even interested in it from a personal level at all, outside of having awareness of what the models are, where they're used inside of my industry, and being able to structure arguments really against their generalized usage in whatever it is that I'm working on, and have an working understanding of it. My actual personal opinions on the use of generative AI, deductive AI, computational AI, analytical AI, and such varies depending on which model we're talking about and the utilization of it. But for overall, what we're talking about, certainly inside of using it with phones and such, I'm against it. I know what go into all that. So what I'm getting at is everything seems to be pushing towards AI and AI development at the moment. I do feel that bubble's going to burst, but I think for me, having something where I can play with a really interesting piece of hardware that would integrate itself and help me augment myself as a person, I think would be really interesting, and certainly harkens back to my first degree in cybernetics, and that was one of the things that actually did interest me in doing that as an undergraduate, and is much more interesting than AI for me personally. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things to be excited about there. If you've used the Ray-Ban Metas, drop me a link drop me a comment down in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it. I really am genuinely interested in real use experience of using them, especially if you wear them as your day-to-day glasses as well. That would be super interesting from my part. So do let me know, and I'll catch you later. All right, see ya.